Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, This Morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dua Sharp.
I'm Derek Sibler.
It is September 13th, 2023. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Halfway through now.
Halfway through. It's my Friday.
Happy Friday to you.
Happy
Lucky.
Friday
I'm a little
to
jealous.
But it's definitely the start. Not only is it Friday, but I'm really looking forward to it because it's starting to feel a lot like fall. It's my favorite season. I've got my cardigan on.
Yeah, you're all ready. Look at you.
I've got my cardigan on. I've got my tissue box ready.
Because you could kind of hear the little bit of nasal.
The little bit of nasally because of the weather change. I'm all prepared. So on that note,
you're just missing your fall boots, right?
Yes, I'm missing my fall boots. Well, I am wearing boots. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna lift my legs up to show everyone. But I want like newer boots.
No, I get you. Yeah, and you want the colorful boots too, right?
I don't know if I want colorful boots. We're just talking about my shoe shopping habits. I think I want like long black boots.
Okay,
those are very fall. Those are very fall.
Those are kind of fall-like. Yeah,
exactly. Well, and they'll be weather appropriate as we head into that season.
Absolutely. And you know what's also feeling fall-like is our temperatures. You know, we got 40s and 50s here for you this morning. And as of right now, if you're listening from La Crosse, we're currently at 50 degrees here for you this morning. So it's going to feel a little cool out there as you get ready to step on outside, whether it's for your morning commute or taking the dog out there. No matter what it is, 43 right now in Eau Claire, 46 degrees currently in Winona. So overall today, we are expecting a mostly sunny one. Temperatures into the 50s and 40s through at least 11 o'clock this morning. Then we're talking about the 60s by the time this afternoon rolls around, with highs into the upper 60s later today under mostly sunny skies. Dog walking conditions partly cloudy to start, and then that will continue into the afternoon, followed by a mainly clear sky as we head into early this evening. Now, unfortunately, the allergens could just continue to remain high. The weed, ragweed, and mold today, and then again for tomorrow. And unfortunately, that rain that we had yesterday in some parts of the area was just not enough to lower the symptom index level there, as you can see on your screen. But a check on your schoolcast is coming up next, plus a check on that full weather forecast. We got some rain here that could be on the way later this week. We'll get to those details coming up in a few minutes. Dua?
All right, thanks, Derek. Well, let's get to some news this morning. Another area in La Crosse has been added to the city's list of no camping locations. The City Board of Public Works voted to ban camping at the Courtyard by Marriott Hotel downtown. It's right next to the city's bridges to Minnesota. Mayor Mitch Reynolds said the city doesn't allow people to camp under bridges. The board had previously also banned camping near the La Crosse Center and the Pump House Regional Arts Center last month. Tomorrow, the America's Best Value Inn on La Crosse's north side is closing. Its residents shocked by the sudden announcement last month and are now scrambling to find an alternative option.
There's roaches, bed bugs.
America's Best Value Inn in La Crosse, a place no one wants to live. But for residents like Dean Hussa,
a lot of people didn't have a choice.
It's a hotel, but people can tell the front desk they plan on a long stay. And then rooms go for $900 a month. Not ideal. Though for Dean and his service dog Django, it's better than being out on the street. But now, being on the street is a very real possibility.
They want us out on the 14th, and many of us don't have a place to go.
The owner told residents August 14th he's selling, and everyone has to be out by 11 a.m. September 14th, or be escorted out by police. That's meant finding new housing in just 30 days.
You can't find an apartment in a month, let alone a week.
Some residents have said that if they strike out, they'll just camp out. Dean and his service dog can't do that due to Dean's cardiovascular disease. He gets around $1,600 a month from Social Security disability insurance. Not enough for a decent arrangement.
The ideal situation would be in the 30% of your income. Probably go over to the Norwood over on French Island, and hopefully I can get a room there that's $1,200 a month. That doesn't leave me much for my other bills and then food.
Dean knows the other residents are struggling with the same thing.
I ask everybody, have you found a place? No.
And that more than a month's notice from ownership would have made all the difference.
I understand that he needs his money, but he could at least have a heart.
Independent Living Resources of La Crosse came to the hotel on September 1st. A spokesman said the organization is currently helping connect residents with resources after someone shared the notice residents were given to move out. Dean has now moved into a different motel that he says will cost him $1,200 a month. We reached out to the Salvation Army, who said they have been at max capacity for 4 months. The Director of Social Services, Kayla Ryan, said the lack of affordable housing in the area has been a barrier to finding a place for their patrons to live. America's Best Value Inn's current owner was not at the hotel when different News 8 Now staff were there. He also didn't respond to emails and phone calls. The City of Mauston Council is considering firing its city administrator. The council was in closed session to decide whether to fire City Administrator Randy Rieg. Rieg has held the position since 2018, but has a recently rocky history, including disputes with the city's part-time firefighters. He also admitted to stealing about $2,000 from the DNR when he worked there in 2003. A Mauston resident and journalist filed a federal lawsuit today accusing Rieg and other officials of violating his civil rights. The Cameron Park Playground will be closed for construction starting today. The Parks Department will be putting poured-in-place rubber under the play equipment. Depending on weather, the job will take 2 to 3 weeks. The update comes after UWL student research last month showed poured-in-place rubber can retain heat and easily burn skin. La Crosse's Crowley Park ended up switching from rubber chips to engineered wood chips. A member of the Trumpereau County Board is running to unseat Democrat Tammy Baldwin in the U.S. Senate. District 2 Supervisor Stacey Klein filed to run as a Republican. Klein serves on the Board of Health, Environment, and Land Use and Law Enforcement Emergency Management Committees. She grew up on a dairy farm and also works as a financial advisor. She will be competing against 2 other Republicans for the chance to battle Baldwin in the general election next year. Her current county board term is up in April. Klein told the AP she's meeting with large donors. Biking for adoption. That's the goal of long-distance cyclist Mark Scotch. He's partnered with the father of Dennis Mullen Adoption Initiative to raise awareness for adoption. The initiative is part of the Rice Lake Knights of Columbus. They help cover the expenses of adoption for prospective parents. Starting in Rice Lake, Scotch biked to the Shrine of Our Lady Guadalupe. Father Mullen says that while adoption changes the life of a child, it also changes the life of the parents.
It enriches the family itself, the couple who adopt. It enriches them. It brings a whole new perspective of life and an awareness of what generosity really means.
Scotch begins his return trip to Rice Lake today. If you'd like to contribute to the Adoption Initiative Fund or learn more about what Father Mullen's initiative can do for you, you can visit their website. We've posted a link on our website, news8000.com. The La Crosse Area Society for Human Resource Management is hosting a nonprofit vendor fair. The goal of the event is to connect Coulee Region employers and leaders with local resources to better support their employees. There will be lots of nonprofits in attendance, including Coulee Cap, the La Crosse YMCA, and the Parenting Place. If you'd like to attend the fair, it begins this evening at 4:30 at the Radisson Center. Lunch and Learns are back. The League of Women Voters in La Crosse is holding their next September Lunch and Learn today at the La Crosse Main Public Library. The lecture series is held on the second Wednesday of each month. This month, Lee Rash of the Wisconsin Advisory Council of Keep Our Republic will be speaking about understanding election integrity. The event is free to attend and begins at 11:30 later this morning. If you'd like to attend the event, you can register on the League of Women Voters website. We'll post a link on our website, news8000.com. While still ahead on your morning news, Apple held their keynote event last night that unveiled a few new products as well as making an announcement about a long-awaited charging cable change. And the United Auto Workers Union is expected to go on strike Friday if no deal is made between them and some major car makers. We'll take a look at what that may mean for both future car buyers and the economy. That and more is coming up this morning, but for now we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. The truth is out there. NASA says it has identified possible signs of life on a planet 120 light years from Earth. The planet, named K2-18b, has features that could support water. If it can support water, the space agency says it can support life. According to data garnered from NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, the huge planet's atmosphere appears to have abundant carbon dioxide. Its atmosphere may also be hydrogen-rich, which would suggest it's an ocean world. So if anybody from K2-18B is tuning into this broadcast, peaceful greetings from La Crosse. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning is after the break.
Partly cloudy weather conditions, as you can see behind me from City Cam 8 in downtown La Crosse. A little cool out there as far as our temperatures go right now into the 40s and 50s. 43 in Eau Claire, 50 degrees the temperature now in the La Crosse area. Zone forecast today going to be calling for our highs to reach the mid to upper 60s. Going to struggle to hit the low 70s today, as you can see from Holman down south into Shelby. We're looking at those highs in the upper 60s today. West Salem, you'll be at 68 degrees. 67, I should say, in Lansing, 65 in Viroqua, and 67 in Stoddard. Moving north into Blair, you're at 67 today, and 67 in Trempealeau as well. 66 in Osseo, 67 Black River Falls today. And meanwhile, Eau Claire, you're looking at highs around 66. Everywhere else, 63 in Stanley and 65 today if you're in Augusta. Bus stop forecast on the way to school this morning, 50 degrees, partly cloudy skies to start. On the way back home, we're talking about mostly sunny skies with temperatures at around a comfortable 67 degrees. I'll have a check on your full weather forecast coming up in a few minutes. We'll talk about some upcoming rain chances that we could be dealing with by the end here of this work week. All that and more in just a bit.
In your consumer news this morning, Apple has unveiled its new iPhone and watches. In a highly anticipated keynote event, the company showcased the iPhone 15 and Apple Watch Series 9. It also unveiled a new generation of AirPods. The iPhone 15 will be switching to USB-C charging, which will eventually be standard for all Apple devices. The iPhone 15 has significant design changes along with photo and video taking upgrades. Its price will range from $799 to $999 for the Pro version, while the watch starts at $399. In more distressing news, a new report from the U.S. Census Bureau shows that family incomes are dropping. According to the Bureau, average family income was $74,000 in 2022. That's a 2.3% decrease from 2021. It's the third straight year that family incomes have fallen. Experts believe the culprit is the rising cost of living around the country. Inflation reached its highest point in 40 years last summer. U.S. travelers took advantage of a spectacular sale from Frontier Airlines Tuesday. The airline offered 99% off flights yesterday. It gave customers a discount code that could be applied to round-trip fares through December. The discount only applied to the base fare price, not taxes or fees. Fridays and Sundays and some blackout dates were also excluded from the sale. Regardless, many aspiring vacationers jumped at the opportunity to fly practically for free. The United Auto Workers Union will go on strike if an agreement is not reached with some major car makers by Friday at midnight. Cole Higgins takes a look at what a possible strike could mean for car buyers and the economy.
If you're in the market for a new car with the United Auto Workers strike looming, one question you may be asking is this the right time to buy? GM, Ford, and Stellantis automakers are the big three that may be affected. A strike against all three companies could be a more than $5 billion hit to the economy after just 10 days, according to an estimate from the Anderson Economic Group.
I am sort of urging a measure of caution with respect to panicking about this situation. We need to see what happens. We need to see whether there could be a last-minute deal.
Mark Hamrick from Bankrate says if a strike does happen, there are two questions to consider. Which automakers are affected and how long will the shutdown last?
I think there's going to be an ample supply of vehicles for at least a number of weeks, if indeed a strike or sort of the worst possible outcome does present itself.
Industry analysts say it comes down to inventory. It just depends on what you're buying.
There's still a shortage in the most popular models, and those are the people and places that we're really going to feel it the most.
Pat Ryan, the CEO of Copilot, says while some models have longer wait times, if you're willing to be flexible, you will have options.
In certain brands, like the Stellantis brands, the Dodges, the Jeeps, and the Ram trucks, you're there's plenty of supply.
If you are picky about your make and model, Ryan's advice is to either buy now or wait until the strike is over.
We've continued to see the car market be very, very strong, both new and used, in spite of the incredible increase in prices, both nominally and the even higher increase in monthly payments.
Well, that's it for your morning consumer news. Let's check in with Derek and get today's forecast.
All right, thanks so much for that, Duo. We are under partly cloudy weather conditions, as you can see right there behind me from City Cam 8 in downtown La Crosse. Current temperatures are at 50 degrees with a light north-northwest wind at 5 miles an hour. The river stage currently measuring 4.75 feet, and it's dropping along the Mississippi River. Meanwhile, if you're in Eau Claire, 43 degrees is your temperature, a little on the cloudy side with a northwest or northeast wind, I should say, at around 3 miles an hour. Check out the temperatures across the board this morning into the 40s and low 50s. 49 in Viroqua. We're seeing some of the warmer spots coming in Purdy Sheen, the Boscobel area, around the low 50s here this morning. Temperatures, however, warm up to 61 degrees at noon under partly cloudy skies. Then we turn mostly sunny with temperatures at 69 degrees at 4, followed by clear skies with temperatures at 60 by 8 o'clock this evening. And our forecast high temperatures this afternoon will be rising into those mid to upper 60s today. In fact, in La Crosse, you're just shy of reaching that 70-degree mark this afternoon. 66 today in Eau Claire and 66 degrees this afternoon if you're in Sparta here today. So yesterday we did have some showers and a few thunderstorms that rolled through portions of the area. There you can see in the leftovers from yesterday. Now we're just left over with clear skies as high pressure begins to build in behind that low pressure system that moved through yesterday. And this high pressure system is going to be responsible for helping to get rid of the remaining clouds that we're seeing here this morning. And you'll notice that high here to the north that will continue to move its way down to the south. That's going to help clear out the remaining clouds throughout the day today, causing clear weather to last even as we head into tonight as well. You can still see skies are looking clear as high pressure continues to build in. Now I am watching this next frontal boundary back towards the west, and that's associated with a low pressure system. That's going to help increase the moisture yet again as we head into Thursday night, and you can see some rain showers, even some thunderstorms associated out ahead of that front, which will be moving in on Friday. And that's why our rain chances go up here on Friday to at least 30% for a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Now this weekend we're talking about mainly sunny conditions, and as we head into the start of next week, we're looking at mainly sunny skies with highs mainly into the 70s over these next several days, and low temperatures mainly into the 50s here as well. Don't forget too, you can also download our free First Warn weather app on the Google Play or the Apple App Store. You get all those current weather conditions along with any weather alerts that may go into effect. Plus you get that 8-day forecast right there on your screen that you can access on your fingertips for free. Stay with us though. We're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. For now, we're sending in a break with a look what happened on this day in history. We'll be right back.
Busy night in the world of high school sports. We'll start the show with the best team in the MVC. Let's go to the volleyball court at Holman. Vikings hosting rival Logan. Early in the first set, Rangers can't handle the heat. Sophomore Charlie Casey gets the ace. Later on, it's Izzy Jar. The student section calls her the Hammer for a reason. This time she pounds it past the Logan front. Vikings take the early lead. Rangers trying to make a comeback though. Check this out. A no-look spike from the senior Ava Detweiler. Rangers down just one. That wouldn't last long though. After a diving save by the Rangers, it sets up the senior Melissa Hoff. She unleashes a fastball that would put the game away. Vikings win it in 3. They still haven't lost a set in conference play. Keep it in the MVC. Onalaska making the trip to Aquinas. Hilltoppers taking the first 2 sets. Blue Gold's battling back in the third. Amy Hine going up high for the kill. But Onalaska pulling away later in the third. Haley Kopelke drops one inside the line. Hilltoppers go up 3. It's 22-19, and they'd stay in front for good later in the third. Nice backward set from Ellie Mascotti. Kopelke's there again. The senior with another kill. Hilltoppers impressive on the road. They sweep Aquinas 3-0. What a match last night at Central. Sparta making the trip to La Crosse to take on the Riverhawks. Spartans coming out red hot in the first. Ellie Faulkner goes up with 2 hands. Nice tap. Riverhawks can't return it. Sparta with the early lead, and then Lauren Schanhofer with the exclamation point. She goes up high for the kill. Spartans win the first set in dominant fashion. They'd also win the second, but the Riverhawks storm back in this one. Central erases a 2-set deficit. Riverhawks win an absolute thriller in 5 over rival Sparta. Let's head over the bridge to La Crescent. Lancers at home hosting Lewiston Altura. Late in the first set, senior Kaylee Langan hits one from way outside, gets it right into the Cardinals' corner where no one could get it. Couple plays later, Sam Fabian taps it over the net. Lancers with all the momentum. But the next play, Emily Hansen gives the Lancers a taste of their own medicine with the tap back. Cardinals hanging tough. Lancers don't back down, though. Lydia Knutson-Kimball slices the ball through the Cardinal D. Lancers take the first. They go on to win it in 4 sets, 3 sets to 1. Let's go out to Holman for a boys soccer matchup. They're hosting Logan. Just minutes into this one, Andrew Ripp, nice touch, then crosses it into Parker Lindbergh, who sends a one-timer into the net. Holman strikes first. Later on, it's Carter Monty fighting for control, gets the pass off. Andre De La Rosa sends one into the net. Vikings go up 2, but here come the Rangers. Quade Haverland dribbling past everyone, puts in a beauty of a goal with the left foot. Rangers cut the deficit to 1. Still in the first half, Solomon Szymanski on a breakaway puts one past the goalie. That ties this one up. No second half goals in this one. It ends in a 2-2 draw. Staying on the pitch, more MVC action. West Salem hosting Arcadia. Pick it up first half. Raiders on the run. Christopher Cabrera, great pass ahead. All this guy has to do is tap it in. Just like that, Arcadia strikes first. It's 1-0. And the Raiders keeping the pressure on. Cabrera rifles one toward the net. But check out Walker Slavey coming out of nowhere, blasting home the putback. Arcadia goes up 2. Panthers would cut that deficit in half. Evan Knoll, good look, finds the back of the net here. Raiders hang on, though, for the win. They win it 4-1. Over at Field for Aquinas, Field for Kids, Aquinas hosting Sparta. 75th minute, Lucas Foreman threads the needle, finds Harrison Griffith. He goes top shelf, puts in the only goal of the night. Blue Golds get the win, 1-0. But the best team in the MVC right now is Toma. The Timberwolves took down La Crosse Central 4-1. They have not dropped a conference game yet. They're a perfect 5-0 against MVC opponents. That's going to do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Congress returned to Washington this week and ignited a new political fight. House Republicans have formally launched an impeachment inquiry into President Biden, alleging a, quote, of culture of corruption between the president and his son's business dealings. Democrats are calling the move absurd and illegitimate. CBS News' Jared Hill has more from New York.
Bowing to pressure from his caucus, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy announced a formal impeachment inquiry into President Biden.
We are committed to getting the answers for the American public.
McCarthy says the move gives 3 Republican-led House committees more power to investigate the president, though so far their ongoing probes have found no evidence that Mr. Biden profited from his son, Hunter Biden's business dealings.
This is an illegitimate impeachment inquiry.
House Democrats jumped to the president's defense. A White House spokesman said in a statement, House Republicans have been investigating the president for more than 9 months, and they've turned up no evidence of wrongdoing.
This is a baby step following weeks of pressure from House conservatives to do more.
Some hard-right lawmakers had threatened to oust McCarthy as Speaker if he didn't endorse the impeachment inquiry.
I don't see evidence yet that would support impeaching Joe Biden.
The political fight comes as the country faces a potential shutdown at the end of the month if Congress does not pass legislation to keep the government funded.
The chair lays before the House of Communications.
An impeachment inquiry doesn't necessarily mean the House will ultimately take a vote on whether to impeach President Biden. And even if the narrow House Republican majority does vote in favor of impeachment, that's likely to go nowhere in the Democrat-controlled Senate. An apparent 180 for Wisconsin Republicans. Speaker Robin Vos says the Assembly will present a bill to change how the state's legislative district maps are drawn. In the bill, the Nonpartisan Legislative Reference Bureau would draw maps. Legislators would vote on it, and the governor would have a chance to approve it. The bill states that the maps can't favor a political party, person, or group. The bill has taken inspiration from how Iowa handles redistricting. Republicans have opposed nonpartisan maps for years. The state's newly liberal Supreme Court is poised to rule on 2 redistricting lawsuits challenging the current GOP maps. Maps Vos himself has confirmed favor his party. Vos has previously alluded to considering impeaching Janet Protasiewicz over campaign comments about the state's maps. But today's press conference signals Vos is stepping back from potential impeachment.
I'm still optimistic that the maps that we have are totally legit. I think Justice Protasiewicz should recuse herself because she has biased herself in the process. We're going to have maps that look different, so there will be no need to have the whole discussion about recusal and millions of dollars of attack ads and special interests trying to buy the election. And all the people who have made promises saying they believe in the Iowa model, they believe in nonpartisan redistricting, here is your chance to put your vote and your support where your rhetoric has been for the past 20 years.
Since then, reports have surfaced that the bill was drafted this morning, but Democrats have not yet been given the text of the bill. Now, Iowa's system still gives the legislature the power to reject maps and draw its own, and it has no protections for communities of interest or partisan balance. That could be one reason why Democrats slammed the bill. Governor Evers said, quote, "A legislature that has now repeatedly demonstrated they will not uphold basic tenets of our democracy cannot be trusted to appoint or oversee someone charged with drawing fair maps." Eau Claire Democratic Senator Jeff Smith on X called the Republican action desperate and disingenuous. The bill will be introduced Thursday. The Republican-controlled Wisconsin Assembly has passed an almost $3 billion income tax cut proposal. Evers has already promised to veto the bill, calling it irresponsible and arguing that it would jeopardize the state's future financial stability. The state legislature is also planning to vote on a constitutional amendment that would make it harder to raise taxes. Under the proposed amendment, the legislature would need a 2/3 supermajority vote in order to raise taxes. But that process takes time. 2 successive legislatures have to approve it, and then the people have to vote it through in a statewide election. Donald Trump is facing a lawsuit to block his name from the presidential ballot in Minnesota. A liberal group is trying to invoke the 14th Amendment's insurrectionist ban. A similar lawsuit was filed 2 weeks ago in Colorado. The cases are seen as legal long shots. The post-Civil War provision has only been applied twice since the late 1880s, when it was used against former Confederates. The Constitution also doesn't outline how to enforce the ban. Trump has denied any wrongdoings and has vowed to fight to remain on the ballot. The Minnesota government is rolling out a new cybersecurity plan that will protect the whole state. This is the first plan of its kind and is intended to solidify online defenses at more than 3,000 government entities. State officials reported more than 1,000 security incidents last year, hitting schools, universities, and government offices. What's critical in the new plan is that it addresses more than just stopping cyber attacks. It also lays out how to respond to them.
The gaps that this plan is filling is providing tools that would have prevented events that we've seen throughout the state. So whether that's ransomware that gets into a network and then spreads from one device to another, or vulnerabilities that are not patched and managed that are then exploited.
Ransomware in particular has left some school districts doing major damage control. Atop that list is Minneapolis Public Schools, which took weeks to get a grip on the situation. Officials hope this plan makes sure that doesn't happen again. Officials anticipate a 4-year timeline for statewide synergy, including distributing millions of dollars in grants. Over 55% of Minnesota is now experiencing severe drought, and many of the state's lakes and rivers are at historic lows. John Lawrenston talked with a state climatologist about what will need to be done to get the water levels back to normal and how you can help.
I've never been able to walk here, so no, not at all. I haven't gone this far.
Near Coon Rapids Dam Regional Park, Becky Little is seeing a part of the Mississippi River she never thought she'd see. She's been coming here for years, but just like her lawn at home, the river is as dry as she's ever seen it.
I think it's a little sad. I mean, the river, it's the mighty Mississippi. It's not flowing like it should be, I think.
A month ago, this part of the Mississippi River where I'm walking was several feet underwater. And with no significant rainfall in the forecast, there's concern as to just how low it can go.
We've had 3 serious droughts in a row here in Minnesota, and that certainly isn't normal.
DNR state climatologist Luigi Romolo says we are getting close to surpassing the drought of 2021. But back then, we got more rain in August and September, which is why a number of cities are once again turning to lawn watering restrictions.
Don't even water it at all for a while, unless it's a new sod, maybe. Don't run the water when you're brushing your teeth or when you're shaving. Take shorter showers.
The DNR has also suspended more than 100 surface water permits over the past 7 weeks due to drought.
Until we have consistent rainfall, there's no end to this drought in sight at the moment. That's a worrying thought, because you just don't know how do you prepare for that.
Experts say that the best time to water your lawn is overnight or in the early morning hours. This is because evaporation is highest during the day. Now here's Derek to tell us what to expect for our morning commute. And Derek, I see you've got the drought monitor pulled up.
Yeah, I do. And as a matter of fact, we are expected to see an update on this drought monitor for tomorrow. It comes out once a week on Thursday, but I do want to show you the latest information. You can see, as we talked about from that last story in Minnesota, they are under an extreme drought condition here, especially for northern sections and the southern sections there of the state. The rest of the state under that severe drought status. So as for us, we are currently looking at some similar like drought conditions, especially down to the south, where we have that extreme drought status, while the rest of us are anywhere between that moderate to severe drought condition. So we need the rainfall. Unfortunately, yesterday was just not enough to put any type of dent in the drought. I'm not expecting big changes for tomorrow once that new information comes in, but we'll let you know here what happens there tomorrow. Temperatures right now in the 40s, low 50s. Here's a check on the forecast overall today. 69, mostly sunny, cool temperatures, winds light and variable. For tonight, 48 degrees, mostly clear, and a bit of a cool night, winds still light and variable. If you haven't had a chance yet to mow the lawn, conditions today are looking gorgeous, mixed clouds and sun with temperatures mainly into the 60s, low 70s. Final check on that weather forecast coming up in a few minutes, and we'll talk about these upcoming rain chances later this week. Also coming up in our Buzz Report, the MTV Video Music Awards were held in New Jersey last night. News 8 brings you the big winners just ahead. We'll be right back. Well, we got a bit of a mainly cloudy start here this morning from City Cam 8 in downtown La Crosse, as you can see right there behind me. 50 degrees is the temperature underneath. Again, those cloudy skies now in La Crosse. Winds are very light out of the north-northwest currently at 5 miles an hour. Now, meanwhile, if you're in Eau Claire, you're also looking a little on the cloudy side here as well. Temperatures, though, much colder, 43 degrees. Northeast winds lighter at around 3 miles an hour. And you can see really across the board this morning, we got temperature readings into both the 40s and low 50s. 50 degrees in Sparta, 49 degrees in Viroqua, 51 down south in the Boscobel area here for you this morning. Mixed clouds and sunshine really throughout the day today is the main weather headline, with 61 expected at noon, followed by temperatures just shy of that 70-degree mark as we head into later this afternoon. Now, forecast highs today are expected to reach those mid to upper 60s in many spots. In fact, we're going to really struggle to reach the low 70s. I'm thinking for a lot of locations, we could see 70 degrees, however, down south around the Boscobel area across portions of our southern communities. So here's a look at the last 18 hours. We had some showers and a few thunderstorms that rolled through portions of the area yesterday afternoon. Once this loop begins, you can see it moving through, and then they cleared out of here by this evening. They were all, or yesterday evening, I should say, that's when they cleared out, and they all followed this low pressure system, which is now positioned down to our south. And we're feeling a little cooler behind that system here as well, thanks to that trailing cold front with the low. High pressure is building in behind the system here now to our north. That system is expected to influence our weather here today, and you can see as that high begins to build in from the north, that's going to help clear out the remaining cloud cover that we're seeing now as we head throughout the day. In fact, as we take you into this afternoon, those clouds will dissipate as drier air begins to move in with that high pressure system, and that trend continues as we head into tonight as well. Now, as we take you into tomorrow, I am watching some increasing clouds moving in from the west out ahead of this cold front associated with yet another low pressure system that's expected to move in as we get near the end of this work week. And out ahead of it, we could be watching some scattered showers, maybe even some thunderstorms as well, but those should move in as we head into by the end of this week here on Friday, as you'll see on the 8-day forecast. In fact, I do have at least a chance of showers and thunderstorms at 30% for Friday, and then this weekend, we're looking at mainly clear skies, a few clouds mixed with some sunshine with highs into the 70s. We're talking about mostly sunny skies into early next week thanks to high pressure with highs mainly into the 70s here as well, and low temperatures mainly in the 50s.
In our morning buzz report, the MTV Video Music Awards were held at the Prudential Center in New Jersey last night. And it was definitely Taylor Swift's night. The anti-hero singer racked up a historic 9 wins, including Video of the Year, Album of the Year, and Artist of the Year. That brings her career total to 23 VMAs, the second most in history behind Beyonce's 30. Other winners included Ice Spice, Nicki Minaj, and Shakira. Aerosmith is postponing a long-awaited tour. The rock band has been holding its farewell tour dubbed the Peace Out Tour. Lead singer Steven Tyler announced that he is healing from a vocal cord injury. He's been told by doctors not to sing for 30 days. As a result, the band will reschedule its September shows for early 2024. Aerosmith formed in Boston in 1970. It's the best-selling U.S. hard rock band of all time. The Talking Heads concert film Stop Making Sense got a reboot for its 40th anniversary. A restored 4K edition of the film was screened at 165 IMAX locations across North America. It was a major hit. The Jonathan Demme directed film pulled in over $640,000 in a single evening. That makes it the highest grossing live event in IMAX history. Talking Heads were pioneers of the new wave genre from 1975 to 1991. Back to Taylor Swift.
Back to just like that, we're moving back to Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. We talked a little bit about this in the first hour.
Yeah.
So for viewers that weren't tuned in during the first hour, do you want to tell the tidbit of information that you learned?
So yesterday I was scrolling through social media, and then all of a sudden I see Taylor Swift is talking with Travis Kelce, and I'm like, oh, I know Travis Kelce. He's a really famous NFL tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, because I watch my football. And then I know Taylor Swift from you, so I tied the two pieces together on that, and that's why I sent you that text yesterday. So that was, did you get my text, by the way, Duo?
I maybe
Sometimes she doesn't respond to me.
I'm really bad at opening messages.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll see the notification, I'll be like, I'll respond, and then I completely forget.
But I was shocked to kind of hear that news, because like you mentioned, Taylor Swift goes for British guys?
British guys.
Yeah.
She's historically hasn't dated any American, I think, since 2011.
So fun fact about me, I'm actually part British, or part Britain, whatever it is.
Really?
From my dad, yeah.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, so anyway, her type is very she's got this song called I Think He Knows, and one of the lyrics is, he's got that boyish look that I like in a man.
Yeah.
And I'd mentioned Travis Kelce does not have a boyish look.
No, he's more of a man.
Exactly. So this would be a different change for her. I think I'd be excited to see it. He's a sweetheart. He seems really fun.
Yeah.
But
he's a cool guy.
Listen, whatever makes Taylor happy, I'm happy.
They are, exactly.
Well, before we have to break, it's time for today's Look Who's 8.
We're going to start with Preston, who is 8 months old. Now, he loves his little brother Carter, sister Nora, and life on the farm.
Kaylee is also 8 months. She loves to laugh, watch her big siblings dance, and listen to the song Baby's Got Blue Eyes.
Amira is 8 years old. Now, she loves animals, her friends, and she is a great big sister.
Patricia is turning 88. She's the mother of David, Tom, Bob, and Mary.
Well, if you know a special someone that's turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab. Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is up next. In your morning news now, another area in La Crosse has been added to the city's list of no camping locations. The City Board of Public Works voted to ban camping at the Courtyard by Marriott Hotel downtown. It's right next to the city's bridges to Minnesota. Mayor Mitch Reynolds said the city doesn't allow people to camp under the bridge. The board had previously also banned camping near the La Crosse Center and the Pump House Regional Arts Center last month. The Mawson City Council is considering firing its city administrator. The council was closed in session to decide whether to fire city administrator Randy Reed. Rieg has held the position since 2018, but has a recently rocky history, including disputes with the city's part-time firefighters. He also admitted to stealing about $2,000 from the DNR when he worked there in 2003. A Mauston resident and journalist filed a federal lawsuit today accusing Rieg and other officials of violating his civil rights. The Cameron Park Playground will be closed for construction starting today. The Parks Department will be putting poured-in-place rubber under the play equipment. Depending on weather, the job will take 2 to 3 weeks. The update comes after UWL student research last month showed poured-in-place rubber can retain heat and easily burn skin. La Crosse's Crowley Park ended up switching from rubber chips to engineered wood chips. The Republican-controlled Wisconsin Assembly has passed an almost $3 billion income tax cut proposal. Evers has already promised to veto the bill, calling it irresponsible and arguing that it would jeopardize the state's future financial stability. The state legislature is also planning to vote on a constitutional amendment that would make it harder to raise taxes. Under the proposed amendment, the legislature would need a 2/3 supermajority vote in order to raise taxes. But that process takes time. 2 successive legislatures have to approve it, and then the people have to vote it through in a statewide election. The La Crosse Area Society for Human Resource Management is hosting a nonprofit vendor fair. The goal of the event is to connect Coulee Region employers and leaders with local resources to better support their employees. There will be lots of nonprofits in attendance, including Coulee CAP, the La Crosse YMCA, and the Parenting Place. If you'd like to attend the fair, it begins this evening at 4:30 in the Radisson Center. Lunch and Learns are back. The League of Women Voters in La Crosse is holding their next September lunch. The next Lunch and Learn will be at the La Crosse Main Public Library. The lecture series is held on the second Wednesday of each month. This month, Lee Raish of the Wisconsin Advisory Council of Keep Our Republic will be speaking about understanding election integrity. The event is free to attend and begins at 11:30 later this morning. If you'd like to attend the event, you can register on the League of Women Voters website. We'll post a link on our website, news8000.com.
And as you head out the door this morning, temperatures into the 50s underneath those cloudy skies. Those clouds will gradually clear, though, as the day goes on, and then skies turn mostly sunny with highs into the mid to upper 60s, along with a pretty cool day today once again. Highs remain to the 70s over the next several days, looking at mostly sunny skies for again tomorrow. Chance of showers and thunderstorms possible on Friday with our next system, and then it looks like this weekend into early next week, we're looking at mainly sunny skies with, again, those highs in the 70s and lows in the 50s.
Those lows are dipping.
Yeah, they're getting cooler and cooler as we get near fall, so
yeah.
I'm excited for that.
I'm excited, but it definitely feels way colder than fall, especially when we're coming into work, like
exactly.
48 degrees as like the low kind of around that time.
And
that's winter.
We're going to start to see more and more cold fronts move through too, so pack those jackets. It's coming. It's getting
Not to bring up Taylor Swift again, but she's got a great fall album.
Oh.
It's my favorite album.
Okay.
It's called Red.
Okay, I was about to ask you.
It's called Red, and it's got a song that's 10 minutes long.
It's not your favorite color, though, is it?
No, red's not my favorite color. It's my favorite album from her, though.
Gotcha.
I got to say. Anyway, the 10-minute song, it's called All 2 Minute, 10-minute version.
It has to be red then if you're a big Taylor Swift fan to it.
No. I don't even think red is her favorite color.
Yeah. But you have to like everything.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you for watching News 8 Now. Don't forget to catch up with us at noon. We'll see you back here later.